Hi, and welcome to the Hippy Soul Sessions. This episode is episode number 20. So I am so excited that there's 20 episodes of the Hippy Soul Sessions, and we're very, very lucky today to have a special guest, Miss Courtney Anderson. I am
Yay.
Courtney Anderson on Instagram, and she is living her life like a holiday. And I am so inspired by her story. She's a multi-entrepreneur, and she is here to talk to us today about all things to break through stigmas and
Mhm.
how to live abundantly. And she's an expert in human design as well. She's just this multi-talented, beautiful woman. So welcome, Courtney.
Thank you so much. That's such a beautiful intro. I love it. I'm just like, keep going.
Yeah,
That's
you're
great.
like, and what else?
No, thank you so much for having me. I'm excited to share my journey and yeah, really hope to add value to the women and the men who are listening in and watching this, definitely.
Yes, I'm sure you will. Definitely. You already have to me. We only spoke for a short period of time the other day.
Yeah.
And yeah, you've got a whole plethora of information to give. So let's start with just your backstory and how you came
Mhm.
to where you are today.
Oh my gosh, I feel like we could be on here for days. However, I'll give it to you as short and sweet as possible. So for me, I started my journey. I was a vet nurse a few years ago. And I realized like I love animals, I love all beings. However, I was seeing a lot in the clinic. I was seeing there was a lot of pain, right? And animals come to the vets usually for certain things around that. And also, I was noticing that I wasn't getting to the root of the problem. I realized that I truly believe that animals are a reflection of us. And for me, I was seeing all these animals hurt, and I just felt like there was more to give. And I was seeing that what I realized is that people are where it's at. When we change and we have these conversations with people and seeing and how we can best support them, that's really where the root, like that's where things start to change and shift. Because I was like, I'm helping these animals. However, there comes to a time where it's actually too late. And so I was really frustrated. I was wondering, and I only had this realization the other day after one of our mentors call that we share together of how that's come about and why I felt the way I did back then. So I felt like I had more to give. I felt stuck, I felt stagnant, I felt capped. And I didn't realize it back then, and it always has been. One of my values is freedom. And so I was like, this is like, I remember praying literally on the floor one day, being like, universe, if you, anyone listening, please, can you help me? Can you please, like, what is the next step? There has to be more to life. I'm seeing all these incredible people doing all these amazing things. And I just knew within myself, as I'm sure you do, that's why we do the work we do, that, that there has to be more to life. And so that's when things started to really shift for me. I started to dabble in the personal development field. When I was 21, I dropped down 30K into my own investment. And for me, that was just life changing. That really led me to starting into low ticket network marketing, led me into more personal growth. That's where I met my soul sister, Kristen Melbourne. Shout out to her because she's just like to this day, to the dot, been everything for me. And I realized that the power of like soul sisterhood. And things started to shift. And so from then, myself and her, we moved to Queensland. I think it was about 3 years ago now. And we started our business called the Freedom Sister Movement. And now that business, we ran silent disco, ecstatic dance events for men and women all along the Sunshine Coast on the beaches. We were doing coaching, like lifestyle coaching, and we're helping people navigate their human design. So, how to really embody their human design in all areas of their life. Because we truly believe that how you do one thing here is how you do everything. And I truly believe that it affects all areas, like one area affects all areas. And so finding people is like helping people find their uniqueness, empowering them to become who they are naturally, authentically, to flow more with life, to not resist it, to really just be themselves really, and to be able to fully express that and embody that in all areas of their life. It was game changing, and we loved that. And then myself and her, we were like, okay, there's another level for us. There's another level of growth. And for those listening, if you're like, yeah, I feel that within me, there's more to give. Like I have this calling within me. I don't know what to do or where to start. You just have to start asking, like ask the universe, whatever you believe in for an answer or for just that next step. Because sometimes for me, I had all these visions and this great, great, is it like visions, and I just knew I had this big journey and I wanted to give more, but I didn't know how. I felt kind of stuck and stagnant in that. So yes, we were giving and we're doing all these incredible events and helping a lot of people and created our own community on the sunny coast and predominantly in Queensland as well in Australia. There was more for us to give. We wanted to give more humanity. We wanted to be able to travel. We wanted to be able to work from anywhere. We wanted to be able to have more time freedom, location freedom, all of those things, and start to build something with financial freedom too. And so that's where we came into the high ticket affiliate sales industry, because we realized we could be everything that we were already are and already were doing, and be able to be that in this industry and in the aligning with a company with where we are now. And so that's where things really started to kick off, and we started to shift gears. And yeah, we started to really build a solid foundation for ourselves and really be able to help give other people an opportunity to create wealth online too. Because I really believe that money is such an important part. Like the more we can give is like, it's incredible. The more we can actually help and help the universe too. Like the world does revolve around money. And so started to build that relationship, and there was a missing piece in our coaching business that we weren't able to give people that opportunity for wealth. And so that's why we started in this space too. So it all started for me when really back then I just didn't know I didn't know who I was. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have the tools and resources. And I came across all these different modalities such as human design and business really showed me these like new ways of looking within. So yeah, it's been an incredible journey. I also found out when I think it was before I was 21, that I had herpes, got diagnosed with herpes. And that's when things really shifted for me too, especially here in Queensland, because I started to develop a deeper acceptance within myself. And I was like, what the fuck is this stigma? Like, what is this? Like all these things, like we have all these conditioning in society, and it really unraveled what I'm here for, my soul's mission, which is really to help people break away from stigmas, to step out from the crowd. And that's why I truly believe that happened for me in that moment, because it's a part of my soul's purpose here to be able to help people do that. And I can't do that for other people if I'm not doing that for myself. And so that's why it's important for me to keep going big, keep dreaming big, keep going for what I want, no matter the circumstances, and just keep living a life according to my values and aligning with that. Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome. I love hearing that story. I've just got so many questions
Yes.
and don't
Go,
even
go,
know
go,
where to
go.
start. But I think one of the big things is, how did you, when you've got all these different talents, you've got all these different areas you want to go in,
Mhm.
how much did human design help you to kind of bring it all together? Because, as an entrepreneur, you kind of have all these ideas, and sometimes, like I'm one of them, where I've got all these different businesses. They're all
Yeah.
here and there and there and there, and I want to bring them all in together. So,
Yeah.
and I know heaps of the listeners would be like, "Oh, that's me too." How
Yes.
how did you bring it? Was it human design, or what did you do to sort of bring it all together and kind of make it way more streamlined?
Yeah, so I still offer my human design sessions. I'm more particular now with who I co-create with and where I give my energy. And it is more predominantly for those within the entrepreneurial space, people like yourself. However, because people like you, women like you stand for something. You're here. We're on this podcast. You're giving. You have this vision that I can really relate to, and you're wanting to make change in the world. So for me, human design was an incredible modality for me to utilize myself as well, and also then to be able to share with other people. And now, like I said before, the industry that I'm in now with doing business, that's where I realized I could be the events and the human design and bring it all together in one. So then I can really direct that in one avenue. Because I feel like what you're saying, it's really important, yes, to have all these different modalities, but it's how you utilize them is what's
Yes.
most important. So if you're wanting to know your human design, or you know your human design, like how are you actually utilizing it? How are you embodying it on a daily basis? I don't know if you know your human design. I feel like you're probably a man. Are you a man, Jen? Do you know?
I'm a generator,
Generator. Oh,
um,
that's right. Yeah.
role model hermit.
Oh, you're the same as me. Generator
Oh,
four
really?
six. Yeah, yeah. I love it. Oh, sorry, no, you're a role model hermit. No, you're not the same as me. I'm a 4 6. Yeah, yeah. So there's beauty in the uniqueness, and I feel like with all the different modalities, it's just okay, how can I bring it all together? And so the simple answer for me was in the industry that I'm in now, as well, babe. So then I can just direct it on one thing, because I think there's an important piece of being able to go all in on one thing. That's another
Yeah,
thing that myself and my business partner Kristen Solstice, we realized that we were just so dispersed. Like our energy was in our events and coaching
yeah,
and all these different things, when we truly valued freedom, like sovereignty, and we wanted to work towards that. So we had, it's like we chose to let go of these things. We still do events for private retreats, so don't get me
yeah.
wrong, it's not like you can
You're
never
still
use
bringing
it.
that in.
Yeah, we're still bringing that in, so I get to utilize that. And also I get to help people within our space, our team, that are wanting that financial freedom for themselves, or wanting whatever freedom looks like for them. I get to still utilize and bring in that. And human design is a passion of mine, so whatever that passion is for you, that you're listening, or you've got this modality, it's like, how can you utilize that to help serve? And so that's
Yeah.
sort of the journey that I went on with all of the different modalities. Yeah.
Yes, that's really helpful. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense.
Yeah.
Because yeah, I think entrepreneurs have that problem a lot where they try to put their fingers in every pie and then they go, hang on a second, because they've
Yeah.
got so many talents and stuff as well, and they
Yeah.
and we get bored easy. So it's like, oh, we'll try this, we'll try that. So bringing
Yeah.
it in together. So if
Yeah.
someone was to come and work with you, like how does it start? How does it
Yeah.
normally start with you?
Starts with a conversation. Like I want to know, what's your dreams? What's your vision? Like, why are you seeking more? Like, what does that, like, why is that actually important to you? And it comes back to me always someone's like soul purpose, and that you can find that in your human design too, very much so. Your soul's purpose and your incarnation, that's your incarnation cross, if you've got your chart there and you know a bit about your human design. But it starts with me of just having a conversation with someone. And I truly believe how to really bring your soul's purpose and embody your human design is through being able to create your own brand. I think someone said, I was at an event, Alex Tripod's event, Made for Millions, the other
Oh
day, and
yes, on Sunday. How was that?
it was incredible.
I'm
And
jealous.
yeah, you'll be there next year, don't
Yeah.
worry. So we were behind the scenes, myself and Kristen, and yeah, being able to be immersed in that. And yeah, they were speaking a lot about that too. So your soul's purpose and just going all in with that is really, really important. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, that's that. So that's like a certain part of the human design that you like when someone comes to you, you go straight to that and then
Yeah.
show them that to begin
Well,
with.
yeah, I do. But I also like, I just tune into my intuition for myself of like, how can I really best support this person? And that's why I've come into the online business space, because that's the opportunity that I can really gift you, for you to be able
Yes.
to see and make, for people to be able to see and make that empowered decision for themselves of like, okay, is this the right vehicle? Is this the right model that's going to help me fulfill my mission? And so that's really the conversations that I have. I have the deep conversations. I don't like the superficial shit. Like, fuck that off. I don't know if, I hope we're allowed to swear on here, babe.
You're allowed to swear.
Yeah, amazing, amazing. Yeah, I fuck that off. I want to go deep. I want to know why you're reaching out, like what is painful in your life, and then I direct them into, got incredible master classes. Got one that we're running tonight, Souls to Sovereignty, which is incredible, and just to really add value. So it first starts with your, like I ask your why. We have a
Yep.
conversation around that, and then I want to learn more around, okay, people get to make that empowered decision for themselves, because I'm not here to tell people. I want
No.
I want individuals and entrepreneurs to be able to see this vision for themselves. And I
Yeah.
feel like that's not just with me, but with anyone that you're going to, is really asking yourself that question of like, is this the thing that's going to be able to take me from A to B, for me to be able to really fulfill my soul's mission? And that's what I care about. And for
Yes.
me, and what I've found with, I've seen and witnessed with thousands and thousands of people within our community, is that this is the way. Like this is an incredible vehicle to be able to do that. And we're revolutionizing the industry. We're
Yes.
revolutionizing, we're finding uniqueness, we're finding our personal brand, which is who you are naturally, and being able to be paid for that and then connect with other people, other entrepreneurs that are wanting to do the same. Yeah.
Yes. And that's huge too, having a group, like you said, like the Soul Sister sovereignty is like
Yeah.
everyone coming together and
Yeah.
having that nice group together that's a supportive group.
Yeah.
And
Yeah. That's important. Yeah.
is that like just in Australia, or do you have people overseas as well?
Yeah, so we can be global. Like we travel, we connect. I've just been to South America and that was incredible. So I connected with a lot of entrepreneurs in within the group that I went with, that who I hadn't met before, but they knew people of people, and it was like all of these connections. So this is another thing, like travel and getting out there into the world is really important. So then you start connecting with more like-minded people and you get to collaborate together, because I truly believe to be successful, like you can't do it alone. That's the old ways, the old lone wolf ways. So yeah, coming together, and yeah, so a lot of those people actually were based in Brisbane, and also we had people overseas as well. So we can be global. We are expanding more. We do have a lot of people within our community that are within Australia. However, there is people globally. We're about to go over to Japan for the company's 50th year anniversary. And so there's going to be people coming in there's 8,000 people that are coming to this
Yeah,
event. And there's going to be
that's
people from
full
all over the
network
world.
there.
Yeah, a full network. So I'm excited to be absorbed and be immersed in that experience,
Yeah.
to be able to like grow my vision, which is going to help other people grow their vision
And
too.
that
Yeah.
really will too. So tell
Yeah.
us a little bit about Enagic. That's the company that you're going
Yeah.
over to Japan.
Yeah.
Tell us a little bit about that
Yeah.
for
And
those that
Magic,
don't know.
is incredible. So Kristen, my solstice who I mentioned, she's grown up on this certain water her whole life. Her mum is an incredible medicine woman. And so she actually introduced me to this water. And just having clean, incredible hydration, like water that is alive, is so important. For me, it's so simple. I'm not the scientific girl, but I know that we're predominantly made of water. Like we're 90 something percent made of water. And
Yeah,
so to be able to
exactly.
have clean hydration, to have our channel like clean, and to be able to have those clean downloads come through, like it's important to be looking after our health. And it's important to be really, supporting our bodies in that best way, especially when you're in the transformation field, when we're in this personal development era, when we have a business or whatever that is for us. It's a go 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 world. The
Yep.
basic thing we can do is really have the best hydration. And so it was really simple for me. And Magic have a 500-year vision, and I was like, that is so cool, and it really stretches
That
me
is
of like,
really cool.
okay, yeah, like how big am I, how big is my vision, how big am I allowing myself to dream big? And I was like, okay, this is a great example of just like epicness
Like
with
a
vision and
huge vision.
expansion.
Like
Yes.
people don't even think that far at all.
No, no, not at all. So for me, just even knowing that was really incredible. The people within the space are incredible leaders and examples. So I feel like that's also important too when you're choosing something for yourself, whatever that next step is, to be like, who are the people within that space? What are they doing? Are they the examples that you look to and that you want to be in? So
Yeah.
choosing leaders or mentors that have what you want and what you desire, that's really really important too, and share the same values. And
Yes.
what I know, I mean, I'm going to experience a lot more of the company being in Japan, because they're a Japanese based,
Yeah.
yeah, company. But these products are literally the next kitchen appliance. It's like the bare basics. So it's really incredible. I travel with my water machine. It literally comes with me everywhere. I'm house and pet sitting across the coast here in Queensland and New South Wales. So I travel with it everywhere. We travel with it overseas. It's just
Always
like,
got clean ionized water. Yeah.
yes, yeah, 100%. Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And so how long have you been with this company for?
So I've been with this company for like 2 or 3 years. However, I didn't take my business seriously until the past year. And that's because that's when I realized, oh fuck, like I want to be able to give people and entrepreneurs and people who are mission driven like myself the opportunity to be able to create wealth. I'm doing the coaching and sharing, like we had amazing results. And also, what is that next step? What is that next step for people to be able to fulfill more of their soul's mission? And so,
Yes.
yeah, it's been about a year where I've taken that really seriously and really honored that and honored water and honored the elements in that way. And so, yeah,
And
it's been about
and
two or
that's how
three
you
years.
can live your holiday lifestyle. And
Yes.
you also pet sit as well and house
Yeah.
sit.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah. This is where
amazing.
I am right now. And this is a
That is
beautiful
so
home.
cool.
I'm here on the Sunshine Coast at the moment, and it's the most beautiful home. And that's really where I want to be. This is the beautiful thing. I'm fulfilling more of my mission too. Like I'm still working with animals. I stand for all
Yes.
freedom for all beings. So it's amazing that I get to bring my energy to the animals that I get to care for still. Even though I'm not a vet nurse, I still get to add value. I
Sorry.
still get to, you're right, babe. I still get to share the love and look after animals and work with the owners of the
Yes.
house as well. And it's beautiful. Yeah.
But you sort of don't have that other side of it where there is a lot of pain with the vet surgery side of things.
Yeah.
You're not having to see that side of it too. You can be with the animals in a
Yeah.
different environment.
Yeah, and I guess like what I mentioned before about like the owners are the root of the problem, I guess, to be
Yeah.
direct about it. I now get to share with the owners, like I get to speak with them direct here. Even though they're not in the
Yes.
vet clinic, I get to really connect with them. So even the lady of this house, I've already created a beautiful friendship with her. She's amazing. And she's really interested in the water. She has an autoimmune disease. And so she's like, it's so funny. Like I've been actually just starting looking for cleaner water. They're on a tanked water system here. Even though I get to, yeah, I get to really travel and help people fulfill that for themselves. So being immersed in doing what you love, like if it's travel, like it's travel for me at the moment, especially this year. Like if I wasn't fulfilling that, I wouldn't be able to create these opportunities like I
No.
have to be able to fulfill my mission, to be able to really help serve. So it's like if you're listening, what is it for you that is aligned for you? So there is so many people out there, owners out there that are looking for house and pet sitting too. So yeah, it's an important aspect to continue to go within and ask what your values are, what your desires are, what does your dream lifestyle look like, and to continue walking down that road, and that's where the opportunities will also come to you when you're doing that, because they're not gonna come to you if you're resisting what you know and what you feel is best for you. That's just not where the opportunities are going to come. Continuing my just keep want to inviting you to open up to your downloads and to those things that you really desire in your life, and to continue to ask, okay, what is the first step? Even if you're like, okay, I want to live in a millionaire mansion, then maybe you start house and pet sitting for millionaires. And then you start to be in the energy of that home. What does it feel like to be in that home? Imagining it as your own. It's breaking down that big vision of yours into little steps and chunking it down to just that one step. Just like, what's that one next thing? And that's really where I started my journey. And that's just it's the most powerful thing you can do. So then you're also feeling fulfilled and feeling satisfied, and not feeling frustrated or shitty with yourself because you're not taking the action or not seeing where you're taking the action for your life. If you're in a job you don't like, start looking for something, whether it's online or in person, something that really will fulfill you more, or start asking yourself those powerful questions. Another thing that's really powerful that I can share is I was looking for a lot of things outside of myself, especially when I'm just continuing to talk on your podcast, babe. I was looking for a lot of things outside of myself especially when I found out I had herpes, and that was because I really felt like I wasn't enough. I felt like I wasn't good enough. I put myself in a dangerous situation that I wasn't comfortable in, and I feel like when we start to find our own sense of self-worth and our own empowerment within, that's when our outer reality will reflect differently. So if there's problems or a lot of challenges in your life, or things that you're not happy with, or environments and people that you're not happy or you're not aligned in, there's an invitation to start looking within of like why that actually is. And that's really, yeah, that's where I started my journey too, because it can be really scary looking within. It can be really scary being like confronting those shadows of ourselves. And that's for me now. Now it's weird, like I kind of enjoy the journey of doing that because I know what's on the other side. I've been through the depths, the like I've been through so much of my own shadows, and I've seen what's come out of it. It's everything has gotten me to where I am now. But if we don't look and we don't have the courage to go within and we start asking ourselves these powerful questions, then we're not going to find the answers. A lot of things
Mm.
do come from the other side of the shadows and navigating and transcending through those shadows. So that's a really important piece as well. Our self-worth determines so much in our life. And that's really important to work with, and to start looking at how we can love ourselves even deeper, which I feel is loving the unloved parts, accepting
Yes.
those, and when we do that, that's when our outer reality changes.
When I saw your live the other night with Georgia, you were saying that you were actually now it's taken a long time to see it this way, but you said now that actually when you found out you had herpes kind of made you awaken
Yeah.
to this side.
Yeah.
So did you find that something that you saw as a bad thing happening to you has actually like transcended you into a whole different path in life?
100%, because I didn't really deal with that situation, or I didn't even, excuse me, I didn't sit in my feelings of how I actually felt about that. When I found out, I just suppressed it and then I kept moving. That's been a habit of mine in the past of just doing and not feeling, and not it's not even slowing down, but just not honoring those emotions. And so when I moved to Queensland, I had certain situations. I literally went on like a 3-day bender. It was crazy. And I set the intention to have a soul awakening. And I fucking got that. On the other side of that, I was on a come down, seriously, and I realized that I hadn't felt and hadn't moved through and hadn't accepted the herpes thing. And so that was like the dark night of the soul, because I chose to confront people. I chose to have hard, challenging conversations, even though maybe that person didn't really care. They're not really sure why I'm expressing it, but it was the point of me having the courage to be able to express myself, so then I could move through my personal journey too. So
Yes.
I just knew for myself that these were the things that I needed to do. And so, yeah, when I was in Queensland, that's when I actually accepted and processed it. And it's been a journey since then, to the point now where I just don't believe I had it. I had one outbreak when I found out. And ever since then, I've never had an outbreak. And I truly believe it's to do with my beliefs. It's how I look after my health, like the water, for example, how I clean my vessel. I've done so many things to release and purge spiritually, mentally, emotionally, physically, that I don't believe it's a thing. I truly believe you can heal your body, just like Ina Segal talks about. If you don't know who she is, go and check her out. She's amazing. And yeah, you really can heal your body. And I
Mm.
want to be that. I want to break that stigma. I want to really share that with other women and men that maybe are in that same situation. Maybe it's not a herpes thing for you, but whatever that stigma is that you're creating for yourself, because
Yep.
maybe society's creating, but knowing that you hold the power, that's where I found a lot of my power, is from when I had that situation and had that experience.
Yes, I really admire you for doing that, because I was saying to you the other day, like you don't see anything about it. So if someone is navigating that and they don't feel like there's a tribe that
Yeah.
can help them, and that's huge for
Yeah.
something like that, and that goes for so many different other topics as well. Is that there's
100.
other people out there, but we all suffer in silence a lot of the time. And when
Yeah.
someone breaks out and talks about it, that's when a lot of other people are like, oh, like,
Yes.
I
Yes.
can learn. I know a little bit more about it. I'm not alone.
Yeah.
So I think that's a huge topic to bring up. And yeah, I applaud you for doing that. It's because it's a a brave thing to do too, to step forward when no one else is.
Yeah, and it's another thing to share it online. I feel like this is the thing about even social media, having it as soulful media. One of my mentors within our space talks about it being soulful media. So bringing things to social media and the online space that is adding value. And so for me, this was one thing that I wanted to share because it's not a thing for me. It's not this big deal. However, I know that there's other people out there listening and watching that do have that feeling of like, fuck, I'm scared to share this, or they're scared, or they're in scarcity and fear and doubt. And I want to be that role model. I want to be that woman that's like, you are so loved. Like it's okay to face this, and it's an important thing to process your emotions and all the things that come with it too. So it's also looking at, for you listening, of like how you want to be a role model in your life. And that starts with you being a role model for yourself. How do you want to lead yourself, your life, so then you can help other people lead too?
Yes, exactly.
Yeah.
And have you had people reach out to you because you've been so open about stuff?
Yeah, especially when I first started. Yeah, I've had some incredible women especially reach out to me, and even recently with the latest live I did with Georgia. She's an incredible goddess woman too. Love her.
Georgia's on next week. So yeah,
Oh, yay! Amazing. Oh, that's
yes,
incredible. I love that. Yeah, she's a powerful woman too. And so to be able to share that with her, and when she reached out to me, I spoke to her at Nat's retreat, the day event that we did, and she's like, "We got to do a live about this," because I didn't know that she had experienced the same thing too. And so I was
yep,
like, "Fuck yeah, like let's go." So what it excites me when other women are empowered and they have the confidence and the courage to be like, "Thank you," like, and actually reach out. And so I
yes,
also want to have that as an invitation for those listening to reach out to people. If you see someone that's you see and you feel is having courage codes, or they've made your day, or they've given you a realization, reach out to them, let them know. Because for me, incredibly empowering. It helps keep me going on my mission. I still have shadows that I move through. Like I'm still human. I still have emotions,
yep,
and sometimes it's so incredible to have people share like their reflections of me, so then it gives me the courage to keep going as well. That's an important piece, like
yes,
community, coming together, adding value. Like we all have a value that we can share. That's really important piece of like letting people know, hey, I saw this, thank you so much for sharing. Yeah,
yep.
just continuing that.
And it's always good, like the group that we're in, they talk about opening up a portal. When you open up a portal and you open up that line of messaging to somebody, you
Yeah.
never know where it's going to go. It's so cool when it just opens up your whole world to a whole different
Mm-hmm.
thing.
Yeah, it's creating opportunities for yourself, and beautiful opportunities that you just never know. You say yes to one thing and then 1,000 doors open too.
Yes,
So it could be by a simple message. Like I've had so many examples for myself too, where that's happened. I've said yes to one thing, like I said yes to uh said yes to the universe pretty much. And then a plethora of opportunities has happened from then. Yes, more aligned things. When I asked myself my truth and kept following that, more and more opportunities kept coming too. So powerful.
yes.
Yeah.
That's so awesome. And I can see your future's massive and bright, and it's going to be amazing to watch and be along for the ride as well, because I can
Yeah.
see it. Yeah, you've got so much going on. It's going to be great.
Thank
Can
you.
you tell the listeners how they can find you?
Yeah.
And you've got your own podcast too, so give a plug out to
Yes.
whatever, and any courses that you got as
Thanks,
well.
babe. Thank you so much. So you can find me on Instagram, like Sarah mentioned at the start of the podcast. So I am Courtney Anderson. You can find me on Facebook. It's Courtney Anderson. I do have my own podcast, however, it's sort of on pause at the moment. So again, I felt my energy was being dispersed. I would love to be on like your podcast, for example. This is amazing. I love adding value in these ways. And yeah, just reach out to me, send me a DM. Share whatever has come through from this podcast for you. I would love to hear. And we also have a tonight, if you're listening today or whenever it is, always reach out. You can have the recording, Soul Sister Sovereignty Masterclass. Myself and my beautiful soul sister are doing it. We've got $500 worth of giveaways. We're doing a drum circle. My sister is singing, like using her voice, activating that for the first time,
Wow.
singing to like an audience. So for
Yep.
her, and for me, like I'll probably cry. It's going to be a very special moment,
It's going to be
and to be
great.
able to, yeah, to be able to hold her and that, and other women coming to this too. So I constantly have different things coming out, but the main thing is just to send a reach out message, yeah, and
Yep.
start having that conversation. And I would love to be able to do that and help in whatever way I can. Yeah.
Yeah. Tell us a little bit about how they can find the replay for tonight.
Oh, sorry, it just cut out. What did you say? Sorry.
Oh, for the replay for tonight, how can they get the replay for it?
Yeah, so you can just I predominantly use Instagram, so just send me a DM on Instagram, and yeah, I can send you the replay, and or on Facebook, Courtney Anderson. You can, yeah, just reach out to me,
Awesome.
and I can send that through to you. Yeah.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Yeah.
Excellent. Thank you so much, Courtney, for being on Hippie Soul Sessions. You're amazing.
I love
I
this.
was just sitting there going, this is amazing. This is great value for me. So I know it's going to be great value for the listeners. So thank you so much for your time.
Thank
And
you.
we might have to do a part two, I think, because yeah,
Yeah.
I think there's a lot more that we can go through, but maybe after you come back from Japan.
Yes, that sounds incredible. Yeah, you have my
That would be
Japan
good.
codes. I've given you my South
Yeah.
American codes. Like, take my codes, take my
Yeah.
solstice codes. And yeah, thank you so much for having me, Sir. For those listening, like
No
I
worries.
you are such a goddess, and you have this beautiful aura about you, and I just love what you're doing. So I was so excited to be on here, and I'm so excited for those who are co-creating with you and doing life and journeying with you and having your support. So yeah, thank
Yeah.
you so much for having me.
Oh, thank you, Courtney. Thank you
Thank
so much.
you.
Mwah.
Mwah. Bye.
Yeah.